Transgender Day of Remembrance. Transgender Day of Remembrance. Transgender Day of Remembrance, TDR, is an annual observance on November 20th that honors the memory of the transgender people whose lives were lost in acts of anti-transgender violence. You can read more about the Transgender Day of Remembrance below. Find out how you can show your support in the community on this day. The week before TDR, people and organizations in the country participate in Transgender Awareness Week to help raise visibility for transgender people to address issues the community faces. What is Transgender Day of Remembrance? Transgender Day of Remembrance, TDR, was started in 1999 by transgender advocate Gwendolyn Ann Smith as a vigil to honor the memory of Rita Hester, a transgender woman who was killed in 1998. The vigil commemorated all the transgender people lost to violence since Rita Hester's death and began an important tradition that has become the annual Transgender Day of Remembrance. Transgender Day of Remembrance seeks to highlight the losses that we face due to anti-transgender bigotry and violence. I am no stranger to the need to fight for our rights, and the right to simply exist is first and foremost. With so many seeking to erase transgender people, sometimes in the most brutal ways possible, it is vitally important that those that we lost are remembered, and that we continue to fight for justice. Transgender Day of Remembrance, founder Gwendolyn Ann Smith. How can I get involved in the Transgender Day of Remembrance? Participate in Transgender Day of Remembrance by attending and organizing a vigil on November 20th to honor all those transgender people whose lives were lost to anti-transgender violence that year, and learning about the violence affecting the transgender community. Vigils are typically hosted by local transgender advocates or LGBTQ organizations and held at community centers, parks, places of worship, and other venues. The vigil often involves reading a list of names of those lost that year. Please see resources below on how to write stories about transgender people who have been victimized by crime, and additional resources for writing about the violence that affects transgender people, especially transgender women of color. On Transgender Day of Remembrance, GLAAD remembers the transgender people whose lives have been lost to anti-transgender violence this year and over the years.